Birdie Fab F150 edition. This truck, it's a 2007 F150. It's had some front suspension issues, some popping, grinding, some problems getting it aligned correctly. It does have aftermarket shocks, springs, and a spacer leveling kit, spacer lift, whatever. Kind of thinking that the CV angles are too steep, and also that maybe there's something going on with the four-wheel drive lock unlock vacuum thing. But it's definitely about 1.5 inches taller. It's measuring about 41.5 to the fender in the back, in the front, and 40, just shy of 40 in the rear. So plan here is to do some troubleshooting on the four-wheel drive selection, and then I guess pop these shocks, struts, whatever out, and take that spacer out and see what happens. So here's update number 1 of the four-wheel drive troubleshooting. So there's good vacuum on this top hose, like engine vacuum. It just runs over to the other side of the intake. This one goes, it converts to a hard line behind, you can kind of see where it's going, behind the intake back there. And I don't know where it goes from there. I hadn't found that route yet. But I will say that when the engine is running, there should be vacuum here, which would cause the hubs to unlock. And there is vacuum here, but there's not a whole lot of it. So what we're going to do right now is go grab a vacuum pump and some vacuum line and hook directly to the hubs and see if they'll unlock that way. And if that's the case, then there must be a leak or a clog or obstruction in this line, or it could be this solenoid itself. I don't know, maybe it's not opening all the way, or it's gummed up or whatever. But anyway, we'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back. We're back from the parts store with a Mighty Vac. So what we're going to try to do is connect a vacuum line to the nipple back here on the back of the hub. You can see where the vacuum line connects. So right now it's locked. This hub is locked because we're not under vacuum. But this side I think is okay. The other side might have does have a problem. But anyway, that's the vacuum line coming down from the top, and you can see, maybe you can see right there, that's where we're going to connect to. Throw some vacuum on it and see if this thing unlocks. A bit on it. Okay, it's good. All right, let's spin it and see what happens. Nope, it's not unlocking. So this hub might, well, apparently this hub is bad on this side. Okay, well, we know that, so moving on. So what we're going to try to do here is go ahead and start the truck up. He's about to start it, and see how much vacuum we're pulling at this vacuum line. Okay. So 15 pounds, or inches rather. Yeah. So give or take. So that's actually good. Well, we'll see, it's increasing on up now. So yeah, we know we're getting vacuum here. So the vacuum lines seem okay, solenoid seems okay, and the problem is with this hub. So what we've decided to do, instead of trying to locate a hub or further troubleshoot that, we're going to go ahead and pull these spacers out. You can see that there's 2-inch spacers up here, and as you can see, things are kind of close. I mean, we're not exactly, the jack is under the lower control arm, so this assembly isn't exactly hanging free, and so there's some clearance issues going on here. So we're gonna pull those out and do this kind of the easy way, I guess, the easier way. We pull the tie rod in loose and disconnect the upper control arm ball joint, and the axle, or whatever they call it, wheel end nut is already off. So at that point, it's pull the big cross bolt out of the bottom, and the three nuts up top, and that will or should give us enough clearance to get the assembly out, and then just pull that spacer off and shove it back in with the original nuts. And so, you know, the front end will drop some and should open up some of this over here. So we'll go at it. Okay, don't worry about that. So when was it making that noise?
Right after I left out of shoemates, and it made that noise after that boot was torn. We found it.
Yeah.
Right before we found it torn.
In the arms of the angel.
Just got back. Ride height is 38 and a half from ground to the fender. It was 41 and a half earlier, so definitely a reduction in ride height, but no grinding or weirdness in the steering. It's gonna need an alignment touch up, you know, but other than that, it's looking pretty good, pretty reasonable. So yeah. So to the guy that owns this truck, if you want to go bigger, I would recommend a straight up 4-inch lift kit that includes a front differential relocation to keep those CV angles kind of normal. But you know, I'm not a big off-road truck guy, so whatever, take that for what it's worth. But anyway, success, I guess.